Rosario. To the world, it is the cradle of footballing royalty, the sacred ground that gave us Lionel Messi. But beyond the cheering crowds and the sun-drenched plazas, there is another Rosario, a city of shadows, forgotten whispers, and architectural enigmas that defy explanation. Today, we are not just visiting a city, we are stepping into the personal memories of Jorge Messi, the man who walked these streets long before his son became a global icon. Through his eyes, we will peel back the layers of history to uncover 7 of the strangest, most mysterious locations hidden within his hometown. From subterranean tunnels used by ghosts of the past to monuments built on silent secrets, this is the soul of Argentina you've never seen. Jorge knows that to truly understand the legend of Messi, one must first understand the mysterious soil that raised him. But before we begin, please leave a comment below, letting us know where in the world you are watching this from and what time it is on your clock right now. We are truly curious to see just how many countries this video reaches across the globe. Now, let us step into the dark and discover the mysteries of Rosario together. Our journey begins at the Teatro El Círculo, one of the most majestic opera houses in South America. With its Italian Renaissance architecture and impeccable acoustics, it stands as a jewel of Rosario's cultural heritage. Jorge Messi recalls this place not just as a venue for art, but as a landmark of his youth, a symbol of the city's golden age. However, the true intrigue lies far beneath the velvet seats and the gilded stage. Hidden from the public eye is a labyrinth of ancient tunnels and catacombs. These cold, damp passages were built long ago, connecting the theater to various parts of the city. As we descend into the darkness, the air grows heavy with the scent of old brick and damp earth. Why were they created? Some say they were for secret escapes. Others whisper about clandestine meetings held during the city's most turbulent eras. Jorge remembers the local legends that used to circulate about these underground veins, stories of echoes that sounded like ghostly orchestras still playing in the depths. Exploring these tunnels feels like walking through the subconscious of Rosario. It is a stark reminder that even the most beautiful structures in this city are built upon foundations of mystery and forgotten history. Here, in the silence of the underground, the grandeur of the theater above feels like a world away, leaving us only with the weight of the past. Leaving the whispers of the theater behind, we move toward the riverbank to witness the Monumento a la Bandera, the national flag memorial. This towering stone structure is the beating heart of Rosario's patriotism. For Jorge Messi, this was a place of family Sunday walks, a site of pride where he once watched a young Lionel marvel at the sheer scale of the stone pillars. But as iconic as the exterior is, the ground beneath this massive monument holds a much more strategic and somber secret. Deep below the marble surface lies a network of military tunnels and restricted chambers. Built during a time when the city needed to defend its shores along the Paraná River, these tunnels were designed for more than just ceremonies. They were built for survival and surveillance. Jorge recalls the stories of how these passages were once used to move soldiers and supplies unseen by those on the surface. Walking through these narrow, concrete corridors today, one can feel the chilling contrast between the grand, open-air patriotism above and the cold, utilitarian secrecy below. It is a place where history isn't just displayed in statues, but carved into the very earth. These tunnels serve as a silent witness to Argentina's turbulent political past, a hidden world that Jorge and many locals knew existed, yet rarely spoke of. In the heart of Rosario's most public space, the deepest secrets remain buried in the dark, waiting for the echoes of the past to find their way out. Leaving the riverside, we head toward a place where the air feels noticeably heavier, the Cementerio de Disidentes, or the Dissident Cemetery. In a country deeply rooted in Catholic tradition, this cemetery stands as a haunting anomaly. It was established in the 19th century for those who were denied a place in consecrated ground: the Protestants, the freethinkers, and those who dared to live outside the religious norms of the time. For Jorge Messi, this place represents a different side of Rosario's identity: the spirit of the outsiders, those who forged their own paths despite the world's disapproval. The architecture here is unlike any other cemetery in Argentina. Instead of uniform crosses, you find a chaotic beauty of Masonic symbols, Victorian sculptures, and inscriptions in languages from every corner of the globe. As we walk past the weathered tombs, Jorge reflects on the resilience of these dissidents. He sees a parallel in the grit required to survive and thrive in a city that doesn't always make it easy. The silence here is profound, broken only by the rustle of dry leaves. It's a place that honors the unconventional, the rebels, and the forgotten. As the sun begins to set, casting long, distorted shadows across the gravestones, you realize that this isn't just a place of rest. It's a sanctuary for the stories that society tried to silence. In the heart of Rosario, the Cemetery of Dissidents reminds us that greatness often begins with the courage to be different, a lesson that has echoed through the generations of the Messi family. Just a few steps away from the National Flag Memorial, we find ourselves entering the Pasaje Juramento, or the Path of Oaths. This is not just a walkway. It is a bridge between the past and the present, a narrow passage lined with monumental sculptures that seem to watch your every move. Jorge Messi looks at this place with a sense of reverence. For him, the concept of a juramento, a sacred oath, is something that resonates deeply with the journey of his own family. It was here, amidst these towering figures of stone, that the weight of destiny feels almost tangible. The path is adorned with the works of the famous sculptor Lola Mora, whose art captures the struggle and the triumph of the human spirit. As we walk through this architectural canyon, the high walls create a natural echo chamber, turning every footstep into a rhythmic reminder of the promises we make to ourselves and our loved ones. Jorge reflects on the early days of his son's career, the promises made in quiet rooms, the pact to never give up, no matter how daunting the obstacles in Europe seemed. The Pasaje Juramento serves as a physical manifestation of that iron will. In the heart of Rosario, this path reminds every passerby that words have power, and that a vow taken in the shadow of history can change the course of a life forever. It is a place of quiet reflection, where the stone faces of the past inspire the heroes of the future. Leaving the solemn path of oaths, we arrive at the breathtaking Parque de España. This is where architecture literally touches the river. Designed as a series of massive brick terraces and monumental staircases, it looks like a modern fortress guarding the Paraná. For Jorge Messi, this park represents the modern face of Rosario, a place of transformation. He remembers when this entire area was nothing but abandoned railway tracks and old docks. Seeing it now, transformed into a cultural beacon, mirrors the way a simple dream can evolve into a global reality. The sheer scale of the red brick structures against the vast, muddy waters of the river creates a surreal landscape. As we climb the grand stairs, Jorge points out the hidden amphitheater and the school tucked beneath the terraces. There is a strange sense of power here, as if the bricks themselves are holding back the tide of time. The wind blowing off the river carries stories of immigrants who first stepped onto these shores, looking for a new life. It's a place of perspective. Standing at the top of these steps, the horizon feels endless. Jorge reflects on how important it is to have these open spaces, where the mind can wander as far as the river flows. In the heart of Rosario, the Parque de España stands as a symbol of resilience and vision, a reminder that we can reshape our environment and our destiny, provided we have the courage to build on a grand scale. Our journey continues along the riverbank to one of the most striking sights in all of Argentina, MACRO, the Museum of Contemporary Art of Rosario. At first glance, you might think you are looking at a row of massive, brightly colored crayons reaching for the sky. But these silos were once the industrial lungs of the city, storing grain before it was shipped across the oceans. Jorge Messi looks at these towering cylinders with a nostalgic smile. He remembers them when they were gray, dusty, and purely functional, a symbol of Rosario's hard-working, blue-collar roots. The transformation of these silos into a world-class art museum is a testament to the city's creative spirit. Jorge reflects on how this change mirrors the potential within everyone. Just as these cold, industrial structures were reimagined into a vibrant cultural landmark, he saw the same hidden potential in his young son, when others only saw a small boy with a big dream. Inside, the museum houses experimental works that challenge the status quo, much like the Rosario spirit itself. As we stand at the foot of these colorful giants, Jorge notes that the beauty of MACRO isn't just in the art it holds, but in the boldness of its existence. It teaches us that nothing is fixed, that our past functions do not dictate our future brilliance. In a city that never stops evolving, MACRO stands as a vivid reminder that with enough color and vision, even the most overlooked corners of our lives can become masterpiece. Our final stop brings us to the green lungs of the city, Parque Independencia. This is the oldest and most beloved park in Rosario, a sprawling landscape of French-style gardens, serene lakes, and hidden monuments. For Jorge Messi, this is more than just a park. It is a sanctuary of memories. It was here, amidst the towering eucalyptus trees and the gentle spray of the dancing fountains, that the Messi family spent countless afternoons. Jorge recalls the simple joy of watching his children play in these gardens, long before the world knew their names. But for any football fan, this park holds a deeper, almost spiritual significance. Nestled within its borders is the stadium of Newell's Old Boys, the place where a young Lionel first showcased his magic to the world. Jorge reflects on the quiet corners of the park where they would escape the pressure, finding peace in the shadows of the statues and the rose gardens. There is a strange, timeless quality to Parque Independencia. As we walk through the Garden of Legends, Jorge notes how the park preserves the soul of the city, keeping the past alive while nurturing the dreams of the future. It is a place where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. In the heart of Rosario, this green oasis serves as a reminder that every great journey begins with a single step in a quiet park, and that no matter how far you travel, the roots of home will always be here, waiting in the silence of the trees. As the sun sets over the Paraná River, our journey through the hidden corners of Rosario comes to an end. We have walked through silent tunnels, stood among the graves of dissidents, and felt the vibrant pulse of contemporary art. For Jorge Messi, these 7 locations are more than just landmarks. They are the puzzle pieces that make up the spirit of this city, a spirit of resilience, mystery, and the courage to be different. Rosario is not just a place on a map. It is the fertile soil that allows legends to grow. It is a city that keeps its secrets well, but rewards those who take the time to look beneath the surface. Jorge believes that you cannot truly know the man Lionel has become without understanding the shadows and the light of the streets that raised him. Rosario remains a part of them, a silent partner in every victory and every challenge. We hope this journey has given you a new perspective on this extraordinary city and the family that calls it home. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the unknown. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of Rosario, Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Mr. Benz-Audi for more stories that bridge the gap between history and legend. Until next time, keep looking for the magic hidden in the most unexpected places. Disclaimer and fair use notice. This video uses open source materials and public domain resources. All third-party content is used under the fair use principles of YouTube for the purposes of education, commentary, and historical storytelling. We do not claim ownership of the archival footage or images used, which belong to their respective owners.